All right, Reddit, buckle up because this is the wildest story I've ever been involved in. So, I cheated on my husband. Yep, I did it. I'm not proud, but there it is. And as if that wasn't enough, I made fun of him. It all started one weekend. My husband, let's call him John, was out of town for work. I got lonely and, well, I ended up hooking up with someone else. It was a mistake. But when John got back, it felt like this dirty little secret that I carried alone. Fast forward a couple of weeks, and we were having a family game night with our kids. We started joking around, and I thought it'd be funny to mimic John's quirks. The kids joined in, and soon we were all laughing at his expense. I know, it sounds terrible, but in the moment, it felt like harmless fun. John walked in right as we were in the middle of it. He didn't say a word, just stood there, watching. I felt a pang of guilt, but brushed it off. I thought he'd just shrug it off like he usually did. But this time, things were different. That night, he packed a bag without saying anything. He kissed the kids goodnight, and then he looked at me. There was a sadness in his eyes that I'd never seen before. He said, "I'll be back in a few days. I need some time to think." I was stunned. He'd never done anything like this before. I felt a mix of panic and dread. What had I done? I tried calling him, texting him, but he didn't reply. Those few days felt like an eternity. When he finally came back, he sat me down. The conversation that followed was the most honest and raw we'd ever had. He told me how much it hurt to be mocked by the people he loved the most. And then, he told me he knew about the affair. I was speechless. He'd known all along and never said a word. He explained how much it shattered him, not because of the cheating itself, but because of the betrayal of trust. He told me he needed time to figure things out, and then he dropped the bombshell. He was considering a separation. My heart sank. I realized how deeply I'd hurt him. We've been working through it ever since. It's been tough, but we're taking it one day at a time. Sometimes the things we think are harmless jokes can cut deeper than we realize. So Reddit, that's my story. It's a cautionary tale about trust, respect, and the delicate balance of relationships. If you take anything away from this, let it be this. Value the people you love because once that trust is broken, it's hard to mend. Thanks for listening.